It's not good. Okay, keep passing this down. Next, we will have public comment period. Is anyone here that has signed up for public comment period? All right, seeing none, we will move on to our next agenda item, which will be our campus partner updates, and we'll begin with Nashville Soccer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I thought I'd start with some positive news. We had a huge 2-0 win on Saturday against Portland Timbers. That was our first win of the season. It's our third match of the season, but first win. We had a draw for our home opener a couple weeks ago. It was our Barbie night. It was very successful, lots of pink. It was great. We also just announced yesterday that the U.S. men's national team is coming to play at our stadium June 10th against top-rated team Switzerland. So that's an exciting match before the 3 FIFA matches. And so we'll have that, and then we'll move into the 3 FIFA matches that are coming up. We've been working a lot with FIFA lately. They've been coming to the stadium a lot to do walkthroughs and site surveys. So we put a lot of time into that. So we're excited about the FIFA Club World Cup. And that's about all I have. Any questions?
All right, thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Keep up the great work. Next, I have a report from Dirk. He said the mixed-use development is moving along well, and there is nothing critical to report. So I'll have his report entered into the minutes. Next, Bob. Yes.
Thank you and good morning. Spring is in the air, so racing is upon us. We'll start some of our weekday practices, the 25 that we have for the year, pretty quick. I think you've got schedules of that, what we have scheduled, and then the season for our races are out. And I left some copies there with Christy also. Same, everything is looking positive. We got a lot of interest from the teams. We have a banquet scheduled for this Sunday, if anyone's invited to that, here in Expo 3. And again, always open to any questions or ideas how to get some interest, especially in the community here, to come out and always work with the different organizations, whether it be schools or scouting, churches, things like that. So I appreciate everybody's help, and anything you need from me, I can ask today or always available.
What time is the banquet on Sunday?
4 to 7.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have active social media?
Yeah. Nobody was here. Yeah. All right. So next we will have our operations update, or finance update. Sorry, and capital projects. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. This things.
Good morning, everybody. Happy spring. So we're in permitting on most of the projects. For infrastructure part 2, we got the infrastructure or the electrical work completed, and we're in the final permitting on that one. The Coliseum Way Extension Road, which is the continuation of Upper Coliseum Way, that's in final budgeting and permitting right now. And then for Fair Plaza, we recently had an event there on the 22nd, so they are open for business up there. Got to do a little work on the site lighting, which that's going to be addressed this week. When they bring in the new light rails, the railings that have lights on it, once that's integrated into the program, everything should operate well from there. Additional projects that we have going, we've got the Lot 2 multi-purpose lot over here. That one we just got the first big round of comments from the city. We think we can address those fairly quick and get those back. So we're hoping to try to get that one going so we can slide that in before the fair. And then the sidewalk project that NDOT's doing over here by the dog park, that one, they're all good to go, and they're looking to start somewhere around April. So we're waiting to see what their actual date for starting is. Other than that, all the projects are in good shape. The budgets are in good shape. But like I said, we're just kind of moving through things through permitting right now and getting all the budgets finalized and getting everything contracted and ready to go. Any questions? All right, cool. Thank you.
Good morning, board staff. How are you all this morning? Going to be giving the financial update. You all should have the dashboards in your packets. We'll start as I typically do with the Fairgrounds improvements updates, the blue sheet. Always like to call out some milestones. I know there's not a lot of movement, so just kind of giving the milestones and different things that we hit along the way. Last time I was before you, it was January, so now in March, just wanted to call out the fact that as far as the funds and BUs, the funds and business units that are associated with the improvements on the blue sheet, we've hit that $41 million number. So we've been out here for a while. We've made those dollars obviously stretch quite a way. But I just wanted to call out that milestone. So again, continuing to expend those funds as most appropriate, but wanted to highlight that as that was a new milestone for this period. On Fair Park, not a lot of movement there. Obviously, David just gave the update. More there is just catching up on the progress. I didn't give my usual caveat that these are 45 to 60 days in arrears, but I think you've all heard that spiel enough times. I will highlight that the infrastructure Part 2, the funds that have been allocated in that area on the last sheet that you have, we've hit the 30% mark, and the majority of that has been related to Coliseum Way, with that now approaching about 95% of funds expended. The other things that obviously are picking up are the design and engineering work, and then the project management in that area. So just echoing David that funds and the budgets are in good condition. These are updated in coordination with those updates that we get. So while they are presented as paid to date in arrears, the actual values that we're tracking in those line items are current. Any questions? All right, thank you all.
Next, we'll move to our finance update.
Hello, everyone. The financial information presented today is preliminary, and our revenue and expenses for February 2025 may not have hit the ledgers as of March 10th, 2025, when this report was created. Revenues through February 2025 are approximately $2.5 million. We have other financing sources, or in other words, subsidy, of $698,150. Expenses are around $2.8 million, resulting in a net gain of approximately $333,400. Depreciation expense is $796,200, so the total net loss is roughly $462,738. So I would like to make note that this additional line called other financing sources is a subsidy, which the board knows that we did not request for this fiscal year. We plan to use our fund balance. However, when creating this report, I noticed that we had additional funding in our account. So I called finance to inquire. And I was told that although you guys did not request a subsidy, you were going to use your fund balance, on our side, we had not removed the subsidy. So there you go.
Good job, Patrice.
There you go. So that subsidy will amount to about $1.3 million for the fiscal year. Moving right along. Revenue by division. So our revenue for flea market budget compared to actuals, there is a deficit of $263,341. We all know that's contributing to our overestimation of revenue and the reduction of dealer and patron participation in the market. Corporate sales has a surplus of $28,000 roughly. Fair also a surplus of $160,800. Contract has a surplus of about $60,000, and other has a surplus of $795,200, which is due to the subsidy. For expenses by division, overall, we are tracking to be under budget in our overall expenses. However, Division Fair has a deficit of $121,300. Gain and loss. The gain and loss section is essentially a breakdown of the top portion of this report, which is a summary. The top is a summary. This section sort of breaks down which areas are contributing to the loss and gain for the month. It compares actual revenues to actual expenses. So flea market has a loss of $190,000. Corporate sales has a gain of $400,000. Fair has a loss of about $744,000, and contracts has a gain of $74,400. Other has a gain of $795,000. Other accounts. D&D concessions has a balance of about $5,200, which we plan to spend this fiscal year. Our property tax proration is currently $339,500. For our agent report, we have about $20,700 in outstanding invoices. All of the promoters have been contacted and invoiced. Do you guys have any questions?
I just have one quick question. Remind me again if in the flea market revenue, if parking is included in that.
Yes.
And do we have is there a way, is that calculated separately somewhere else other than, or do you keep up with that separate?
Yes, we do have a separate.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, thank you. Any questions?
So if you have no more questions, I have to let you guys know that we did submit our budget for FY26 on the 7th of February. We will be in communication, however, with budget in light of this new information regarding the subsidy. So we might be making some changes to what we have previously submitted.
Would your preference just be to try to unwind that transaction, or would your preference be to unwind that transaction since we weren't expecting it, or are we going to try to incorporate that into our budget for next year?
Well, I think what we are going to contemplate is possibly our goal this year was to use our fund balance. So since we don't have to use our fund balance because we have a subsidy, maybe we will elect to use our fund balance in FY26.
Yeah, but if you look at the overall, I mean, we don't need that money, and the city might have other uses for it. So, I mean, it seems to me that we should stick to our plan. It's a fortuitous accident, but it's also, we don't need that money necessarily because we planned around it.
I'm not gonna say we may not need the money because we still have expenses. We still have things that we were like looking in the red. I would like to see what because we were projecting it going into the red, right?
Yes.
Ending. So how much of this will actually balance us out or even us out as far as, our operating expenses?
Ultimately, I mean, I defer to your expertise, Patrice, so just consider that. But if you think it makes sense to hold on to that and defer using our savings until the next year, I can be okay with that.
Any questions?
Yes. On the East Coast Home Show and the promoter disputing the invoice, what is their dispute?
I will.
Do you know?
I will have to get with Ryan Jensen. He is out this week to get the details of the dispute.
Okay. Send that to us when you get it. Appreciate you.
I have an idea, but I don't want to
Okay,
say it on
gotcha.
record unless,
Gotcha.
in case
Gotcha.
I'm incorrect.
No problem.
All right. No other questions? Thank you very much. Let's see, moving on to other items. In the absence of our executive director, I guess we'll forego the executive director's report. Then also, I would like to entertain a motion really to carry over our new business item to our next scheduled meeting. Old business item. I don't even know why that's on the agenda. I thought that was off the other agenda because we've been talking about it enough, I think.
Do we want to say we want to just go ahead with the mission statement and then think it'll start going to put it into action though? I think that's what she's waiting for.
But what is
The
the
work
final?
plan.
But she's not here to tell us what the final, like it was updated, so what
Okay.
it is final.
Okay.
Maybe we make a motion just to carry over the old business and new business to next month, and we can hear what Laura's plan is for those two things.
Absolutely.
So I'll make that motion.
And what's the second Tuesday of April? Okay, all right. I'll just make sure I was good for that day. I second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded that we move our old business and new business items to the April meeting. Any further discussion? All right.
No, sir.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So that's it. So we moved all of that business. If there's no other business before us, then the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor of adjourn?
Yes.
All right. We're good. Thank you very much.
You can have your time back.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.